You know, if there's one thing that I will not understand about my fellow countrymen and that I will never, ever be able to relate to and find myself standing in solidarity for all this, it's why the American people continue to elect politicians like Donald Trump and Chris Christie, who are terrible examples of human beings and clearly bullies. You know, the only thing that I can think that would give way to this is Fox News brainwashing. But, you know, the fact is that there's been a great affection in the American public for shock jocks on the fucking airwaves that make no sense to me whatsoever. You know, you have all these people who behave in the worst, most bullying, meandering, shithead ways, and basically as gigantic assholes that just take a giant dump on everybody, you know. And here we are voting them into office. You know, it makes no real sense to me. Like, why do we keep making the popular people to be the ones that are the biggest dicks? Because I wouldn't hang out with those guys for 5 minutes because of the fact that they're dicks, like Chris Christie. Do you think I want to spend time around the fucking former governor? No, I fucking don't. He's a bully. He may deny being a bully, but only a bully would need to deny being a bully. So, you know, like, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't spend time with these people. I wouldn't spend 5 seconds with them, so I don't understand why they got into the popular kids crowd. It doesn't make sense to me. They're not cool. And if you think they are, you're not cool either. You know? Like, what kind of cool person could admire people for being assholes? It doesn't make sense. You know, and I don't get the enduring popularity of people that are assholes at all, and I never will. I wouldn't fucking, I would not hang out with these people for 5 minutes. I'm too good for them, to waste my time on pieces of shit like them. I don't want to have any kind of relationship with them. I don't want to vote for them. I want them gone. I want to, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, the only good asshole is a dead asshole, I said what I said, honestly. If I, like, it's very strange to me that I live in, like, a time period, for instance, where, for example, we're still calling men alpha males or beta males, or, we're doing this and everything. Like, foremost, even if those studies had held up, jumping from saying wolves do this so humans are like this is a massive leap in logic. There were never any studies that verified the existence of alpha males or beta males, and so you're basically pushing some pop anthropology bullshit that actual anthropologists would repudiate in seconds. They don't believe in it, so why the fuck should you? You think you know better than the experts? Well, you're arrogant, conceited, and you don't act. And objectively, you do not. You believe the equivalent of 2 plus 2 equals 5. You're delusional, and your fucking delusions of grandeur have gone completely out of control. The anthropologist objectively knows more than you, and you're just overconfident. And so, they certainly don't believe in it. They certainly haven't verified it. They certainly haven't done studies on humans that would verify that this is a trend within our species. But here you are, pushing your pseudoscientific bullshit down the throats of all of us. But what really grips me about it is that the lead researcher on the project has repudiated it and said that he went back in and studied wolves some more, and he said that his initial studies had only studied wolves in captivity, which is why he came to the conclusion that he did. But as soon as he began studying wild wolves, he noticed that there wasn't that much competition for the lead role anymore, and that it wasn't as bloody as he had, anticipated, and that it was just the males that had children that ended up leading the pack and everything. So it was the father wolf and everything rather than alpha wolf and everything. And so the whole mythos fell apart for the researchers. But, we, to this day, men will come into this channel and call me about they will, they'll engage in that kind of bullying when none of this shit is real or exist. But the biggest piece of why this disgusted me, and that I, like, honestly, if I had my way and the laws were based on, and I got to write them, I would basically literally outlaw believing in this, and make the mandatory minimum sentence death. I would begin purifying the human gene pool and cleansing it of people who cling to this idea. If you're not willing to let it go, then I'm not willing to let you continue living. I'm serious. That might sound like an unhinged take, but I'm tired of it. It's a hideous idea, and they're ugly. I think that you cannot be a good person and cling to this idea. You must be a terrible human being. This planet would be a better off without. And I don't care what you do for work. This planet is a better place if you are dead. No matter what you happen to do, you have no value. And frankly, I would openly advocate KYS, you fucking piece of shit. Those who cling to ugly ideas have no right to live. Put the gun in your mouth and pull the trigger, you subhuman piece of human filth. I do not count you as one of my kind or my species. You are a subhuman piece of garbage that we would be much better off with you were dead. I have nothing inside me for you but pure hatred. I mean, what kind of piece of shit seriously wants to believe in such a hideous idea? You have to be. The scientist repudiated it, and so should you. But you're not a good person because you believe in this shit. So, get the fuck out of my channel and out of my life. You'll never be welcome in it. I'm too good to hang out with anybody who believes in this horse shit. Like I said, if I had my way, I would outlaw your very existence and then send all the forces of Uncle Sam out you to crush you and kill you.